By winter of 1924, the front line had become a stalemate, with hopeless attacks by the Imperial Army, repelled and counterattacked by the Principate's troops. Despite the advancements of technology in vehicles and small arms, the situation remained unchanged. The situation at the front also led to changes in the domestic situation at the home front of both sides. After the failure of the initial Grunenmauerian offensive, the Empress became a progressively less relevant figure in domestic affairs, as more and more power became concentrated in the hands of a triumvirate, determined to see this war to a victorious end for Grunenmauer. General Ingrin, Deputy Canaris, and General Sylvia. Despite the retreat from border towns some months before, General Ingrin, the eldest of the three, remained a highly respected figure in Grunenmauerian society. This made her the perfect candidate to maintain support for the war at the home front, and to take charge of the military industry, effectively nationalizing it under the control of the triumvirate. General Sylvia was the de facto Governor-General of occupied territories, made responsible for keeping order. She did not shy away from utilizing mass repressions and collective punishment for pro-Massilian sympathies and partisan activity. Her administration was more than happy to make use of the native population as collaborators to enforce imperial rule, which was in turn used to show the imperial army as liberators of the local ethnic Sarmonian peoples from Massilian oppressors. Deputy Canaris, a young and very visible deputy in Grunenmauerian parliament, was a hardline advocate for war in the years leading up to its outbreak. Even after the stalemate settled in along the front, she continued advocating for more extreme measures and more operations to win the war, even advocating for a naval landing on Massilian territory to break the stalemate, despite the fact that such an operation was extremely dangerous, stalemate or not. Nevertheless, she quickly became a leading voice in the National People's Party, essentially becoming the mouthpiece of the war and of the party, even with the disapproval of more senior party members. Meanwhile in Massilia, with the onset of the stalemate, old political rivalries began flaring up again between Meyer and the government, as the liberal leader Matilda Miloyova was beginning to demand a counter-offensive more and more frequently, as well as a greater share of power within the scope of the War Act. Protests for greater democratization returned to the streets, putting Meyer in an ever more precarious position, as she attempted to maintain her power while also advocating for a continued defensive strategy. What Field Marshal Velveeta put forward as a future plan of action was for the main army to remain in the trenches along the rivers, while using special forces of Sarmonian volunteers to wreak havoc in imperial-occupied territory. These volunteers were armed with brand new types of weapons to help them increase the effectiveness of their operations. Their missions included raiding convoys, killing imperial officers, and destroying their supply stockpiles. One of their main objectives, though, was the elimination of General Sylvia. However, winter was fast approaching, and so, the special forces had to be quick before Sylvia left for Grunenmauer for the winter season.
Verdammt! Irgendwas stimmt mit dem Motor nicht. Halt den Laster an. Lasst uns sehen, was es ist. Wir müssen uns beeilen. General Sylvia wird uns nicht belohnen, wenn wir die Sache hinauszögern.
Hyvä on. Kaikki, jotka mahtuvat autoon. Kaikki muut palatkaa takaisin leiriin. Ja siivotkaa ruumiit ennen kuin kukaan muu kulkee täällä. Terve! Kyllä. No niin, tässä on leiri, jossa kohteen täytyy olla.
Halt! Was wollen Sie hier?
Meidät viivytti moottorihäiriö aivan tien varrella. Me olemme ampumatarvikekuorma-auto.
Ach, Sie müssen diesen einen Lastwagen haben, der immer diese Probleme hat. Okay, gehen Sie jetzt weiter.
Pysäytä rekka jonnekin tuonne. Taidan nähdä kohteemme. Odottakaa minua täällä, katson, mitä voin tehdä.
Nicht ausruhen, Truppen. Es gibt noch viele Dörfer zu befrieden.
Emme voi mitenkään vain tuoda häntä tänne. Liian moni katsoo meitä. Odotetaan, että heidän saattueensa ajaa pois. Meidän on nyt raportoitava, että tehtävä epäonnistui.
In the meantime, the Grunenmaurians were preparing for an amphibious operation, which was entrusted to Admiral Constanta, while the Moselians were gathering and forming new forces to prepare for a massive counteroffensive aimed at throwing the Imperial army back to the pre-war border.